Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, the Competent Animator, and I'm here to give you another WWE Smackdown review. So, let's get ready to go into this review. But before we start talking about Smackdown, we're going to go talk about the thing that happened on main event. So, you get Undertaker, who comes back on main event and basically threatens Paul Heyman, tells him he's going to basically fuck up Brock Lesnar and to deliver the message to Brock Lesnar. And if he can't deliver the message, then he would do it himself Monday in Brooklyn. So, a very, very good promo right here from The Undertaker. He did it very angrily, and he was just choking the shit out of Paul Heyman and just, speaking slowly and very devilish to him and just doing what Undertaker does and his best promo since he's been back. So, it was very, very good to me. Paul Heyman shitting bricks and stuff like that. So Paul Heyman also does that very good. Just shows the look of fear very well. And you get Undertaker, who ends the main event. So yeah, it was nice seeing main event, just even if it was just for this promo. So another thing that happened was NXT, and on NXT you have another Adam Rose sighting. So you get Adam Rose, who comes back for another match, and this dude's character is just great, man. Just the people not dragging him, but carrying him to the other side of the ring, and just this whole party atmosphere that he has for his entrance and all this stuff is just phenomenal, and just what he's doing right here is just very good. And then you get the match with him and Camacho, and a pretty good match to say the least. You get both of these guys who do a good job of telling a good story inside of the match, and I like the way the crowd reacted to Adam Rose. They were very excited to see him wrestle and very excited just to see him do his thing. One of the things I really liked about this match was when Camacho started getting more of the offense on. You get the crowd who started saying "party pooper" to Camacho and stuff, so that was very fun. And just Adam Rose's whole moveset is very good as well. So yeah, a pretty fun match here. Next, you get a match with Bayley and Sasha Banks, and all I have to say about this is Divas in the NXT murder WWE Divas on the main roster. These two girls had an okay match here. They had a pretty good match here. You get a lot of character between both girls. You can tell exactly what type of character both of these girls is, and there's a story, even though it's not a great story. I mean, not a great story, but it's not a fully developed story that's going on here. Both of these girls have past and history, and it works very nice for both of them, and they had a pretty chill match here. And my favorite part is right here when Bayley starts to copy Sasha Banks. So yeah, it was a pretty fun match here. So, and then you end the show with Sheamus versus Aiden English, and you get Aiden English, who comes out singing, and Sheamus, who ends up mocking him by singing his own little Irish songs. But as far as this goes, you had a pretty nice match here. One thing I love about Sheamus is when kids dress up as him, and he always interacts with him, and he did it here. Just seeing a little kid with his shirt off and just walking up with the red hair, that was just funny as hell. But as far as the match goes, like I said, a pretty fun match here. You end up getting Sheamus, who comes out with the bro kick here, but also Eddie English did a very good job of keeping up with Sheamus, and just his moves and everything else he did here was very good. So as far as SmackDown goes, the show starts off with Kane in the ring, and he basically throws to the whole end segment of last Monday's Raw, and where he basically shows us the whole beatdown of Daniel Bryan, and then Kane goes into saying thank you for getting rid of Daniel Bryan. The whole yes movement is over, and now the authority can reign. Nobody can beat the authority. Nobody's bigger than the authority. And he says this very angrily. And then he reads a letter from Triple H, basically saying, he's sorry he had to end the yes movement, but it's something he had to do. So a pretty okay promo here from Kane, and I like the anger that he put on here, and him still trying to be the businessman while trying to do the anger. He had to check himself for a second, but it was a pretty chill promo. So the first match of the night you get is what's his name, Fernando from Los Matadores versus Fandango. One thing I have to say about Los Matadores, I think El Torito should just be on his own. These other two guys, they really don't stand out. Even after you handle them with the whole repackaging of Epico and Primo, there's still the problem of it's always something there that's going to overshadow them, or even if there's nothing there, then they're just going to be a boring team. With last it was Rosa Mendez, and with this is El Torito. And El Torito I've heard so many stories about that. This guy can actually really wrestle, and he's really good in the ring. So I would just want to see him by himself in a costume doing what he does. But as far as the match goes itself, it was a mediocre match between both of these guys. The most interesting part of the match came when El Torito saw Summer Rae, reacted to her red dress and her swinging and stuff like that, and kind of got horny a little bit. So he chases her, and it causes a distraction for Fandango, and Fernando ends up rolling up Fandango for the win here, and they and Fernando from the Los Matadores take the win, and they pull off El Torito there. So next match you get is Damien Sandow versus Dolph Ziggler, and a pretty chill match here. Dolph Ziggler's basically been on a winning streak for the last, I say, couple weeks or so. Ever since his loss to Batista on a few Smackdowns ago, but he's been on a pretty good winning streak here, and they're basically building him up to go into the Battle Royal Memorial for WrestleMania. But as far as this match goes itself, like I said, it was pretty chill, and it wasn't nothing big and crazy to the match, but it showed the skills of Dolph Ziggler and even gave Sandow some offense here. And also, I didn't realize Sandow got a haircut, but hopefully they can do something with him after Mania. But Dolph Ziggler ends up winning with the famous Sir. Surprisingly, see him win with that move, but he ends up taking a win here and continue his little winning streak up until going into the WrestleMania. So hopefully, if there's anybody else besides probably Rusev that I want to get the whole Memorial Trophy, or probably Big Show, who they're probably going to give it to, I would really like to see Dolph Ziggler take it. It can be really a good moment for him and something to get him back into his groove. So another thing, next thing you got is a tag team match with the Shield, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre and whatever the Muslim dude name is on 3MB, was Ryback and the Real Americans. So a fatal 4-way tag team match. A pretty good tag team match. All these guys came out and did their thing. The Shield took a lot of run shot of this match, and so did the Real Americans. Those were the two teams that were really holding this match up and doing a lot of the nice moves and stuff here. So at one point in the match, you get Heath Slater, who tries to interfere and ends up eating a spear from Roman Reigns, and the Shield looks like they're about to go and get a win. But all the teams start attacking the Shield. Then Kane comes out and starts attacking Roman Reigns with the New Age Outlaws. And they just basically do a systematic beatdown of the Shield. Even though the Shield kind of starts to get a little bit of offense on, they basically just get beat down. And Kane, New Age Outlaws, and the rest of the other tag teams going through a systematic beatdown of the Shield, leaving them beaten down and chokeslammed and whatever else you want. So as far as this goes, I really like this segment. I thought it was a good idea to bring Kane with the New Age Outlaws to this and probably have them go against the Shield at Mania. There was also talk of maybe Ascension was coming in, tag team from NXT, but after listening to a few things and hearing a few people talk about that version, it would kind of be whack to see the Ascension come in to, WrestleMania and, not really get any push and people are not going to know who they are. So, that'll be kind of weird to see, but having the New Age Outlaws come in this way would be kind of cool. So, yeah, so like I said, it was a pretty good match, and I like the beatdown segment here too. So, after the match, you got Kane, who's in the back with the superstars that came from the tag team match, and he was congratulating them on, helping him beat down on the Shield and stuff like that. And he gave the Ryback and the Real Americans tag team championship matches for whenever, I guess, and he gave 3MB the chance to go into the battle royal. So he gave them spots in the battle royal basically. So I'm curious to see what they do with the tag team shots for Ryback and the Real Americans. But as far as that goes, it was a pretty okay segment here. So next you get the Miz, who comes out, enters himself in the battle royal, and then calls out the Big Show, basically tells the Big Show, yeah, you're going to be coming in and you're closest to Andre Giant as far as look and stature and just what people thought you were as the same thing as him, and even one point in your career thought you was his son and stuff like that. So Miz starts talking him up. Then he starts saying, there's all these guys that has a chance of beating you and actually winning the trophy, and you're not the one that's special in this match and stuff like that. So Miz then calls out all the rest of the WWE wrestlers that's inside of the match as already. Well, calls out a few of them, and they end up all brawling in the ring after Sheamus comes out and basically says, "Fuck all the talking, let's fight." So they brawl in the ring, start throwing each other over the ropes. It ends up being Sheamus and the Big Show towards the end, and they get starting a little brawl, and Sheamus gets thrown over the rope. Then the Miz starts to brawl with the Big Show, and he gets thrown over the rope, and you have the Big Show standing tall here. So as far as the whole Andre the Giant Battle Royal or WrestleMania goes, it looks like they're pushing either the Big Show, Sheamus, Ziggler, or Rusev to probably win that match. I'm very interested to see what they do there, and I thought these segments that leading up to this match have been pretty good. I think that I like that they're not just throwing a battle royal in the WrestleMania, but that they're actually building, not really stories, but set miniature rivalries going into this Mania, as far as this battle royal goes, and giving you just little bits of taste of what you're going to see. So it's not just saying, oh, we're going to put a battle royal on WrestleMania, and that'll be just it. They're actually setting small pieces to see, okay, these are the guys that we're looking at to win. So who you think is going to win here? So I really like that part of this show and how they're building up to that match. So next match you get is Big E Langston versus Alberto Del Rio, and they have a pretty okay match here. Both pretty even here, but you got Alberto Del Rio who takes a little bit more lead in doing the punishment. Alberto Del Rio ends up picking a win here after using a super kick and knocking out Big E. I think most people would say, oh, it's sad to see Big E lose here, but Alberto Del Rio is still an world heavyweight champion and a WWE champion, so it's kind of hard to say, okay, Big E can't lose to a guy with that much stature, and that much ability. But it is sad to see Big E lose when he has his belt on him, and that they're not doing anything with the belt at Mania. But hopefully, going into Mania, they can do something with him, probably a pre-show match or something. So, yeah, Alberto Del Rio picks up the win here, and it's an okay match there. So next you get AJ Lee on commentary, and I guess a Divas match happened while shit's on commentary. You get a Divas match with the Bella Twins versus Natalya and Summer Rae. The match was pretty mediocre. Summer Rae did an okay job. All the girls did an okay job here. It was just them doing their movesets, though. It was nothing special about the match or very interesting at all. You had Naomi. You had Natalya and Summer Rae kind of feud and act crazy to each other during the match, and hitting each other and stuff like that, and tagging each other in at wrong times and stuff. Doing a heel and face tag team thing. So yeah, it was just basically a whatever Divas match here. The interesting part, well, let me say this here: the Bella Twins won the match, but the interesting part came towards the end when I don't know what I'm talking about that. It came towards the end when the Bella Twins had a stare down with AJ Lee, and also on commentary, AJ Lee talked about her beef with Tamina, and she's still doing the whole thing of talking down to Tamina, but also saying that she's the only person she wants by her side. So that's still interesting to see what happens there, and I'm interested to see who's going to be the person to take on AJ Lee at Mania, and yeah. But also in the match, like I said, you had Natalya and Summer Rae feud, and after the match, after Natalya lost, she ends up kicking Summer Rae, which was whatever to me. Like I said, the girls on NXT is way better than this, and Natalya and Summer Rae is on there a lot, so I don't know what's up with this show as far as the divas on here. So after that, you get Lana, who calls out Alexander Rusev, and she cuts a little new promo talking about how, Houston, we have a problem, and how badass Rusev is. And then Rusev does his stick and says his name. So can't wait to see what they do with him probably at Mania. And Lana looked very hot again here. So next you get a match with John Cena versus Luke Harper, and you have the Wyatt family on the outside. And a pretty chill match here. John Cena and Luke Harper really came out there and did the thing. Luke Harper was very good in this match, and he's still, one of those guys that is standing out of the Wyatt family. He's getting a lot of the promo time here, as long as with Bray Wyatt, or getting as much promo time as they're going to give him. But when he's in the ring, he really shows his ability in this ring. Even at one point, he did a Hurricanrana on John Cena. So, this guy can work when he get in the ring, and I was very happy to see him work and stuff like that. So you get Luke Harper, who's basically getting a lot of offense towards the ends, and then they start getting the mix up of the offense, and John Cena ends up hitting Luke Harper with the AA, and ends up picking up the win off of that. Bray Wyatt gets in the ring, tries to attack Cena, but Cena gets out quickly, and Bray Wyatt says, basically saying, you got this round, but I got you later, stuff like that. So, as far as this SmackDown goes, I would give it a C. I thought it was a pretty average SmackDown. The highlights of it was the tag team match with the Shield versus everybody else, and the stuff that happened with the Shield and Kane, and the end match with John Cena and Luke Harper. And you also had a nice promo cut by Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt here as well, basically doing their evil stick, talking shit about Cena. So, all in all, it was a pretty okay show here. A straight average show, but you can expect that leading up to WrestleMania. Not every one of these shows are going to be great or top notch, but so far the majority of these shows have been really good, and I wouldn't call this a bad show. I just say, it's pretty average. They spent a lot of time in the show showing, the promos from all the wrestlers and all the feuds that are happening, and also showing the inductees to the the Hall of Fame. So that spent a lot of time in the show showing a lot of that stuff. So if I want to leave you with one thing, I would say watch NXT. It's on the network. If you're getting the network, watch NXT. It's like the college football for WWE, and just in wrestling in general. But the things that they're doing on that show is very good, and these guys are hungry. If you want to see good women wrestling, you watch NXT. This is as much as I'm going to review NXT is probably on the beginning of my SmackDown reviews, but like I said, it's a really good show, and the only reason why, like I said, I'm not reviewing it is because I don't feel that it's right for me to review these guys because they're in developmental. Now I would come on probably on my SmackDown reviews and make this a thing where I review it and give my thoughts and say what I like and what I dislike on here. But yeah, a pretty good show today, and watch NXT. I can't stress that enough. And all my links are down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace.